When it comes to adaptations of beloved cartoons, anime, or even books, if you're one of those weirdos who like to hallucinate when you crack open a dead tree, you are well aware of the disappointment you feel when you see your favorite thing in the form of something as restrictive as live action. You either end up with something that's mid at best or Dragon Ball Evolution. Now, there are movies and TV shows that don't fit into this exact dynamic. However, for every One Piece, there's 30 equally bad versions of something like Cowboy Bebop, which sucks because these live action anime come from beloved franchises. But what if I told you there were a way to watch these live action adaptations and still enjoy them? I now present you with a choice. Either find another video, continue to live your life devoid of having to ever watch a live action adaptation, or watch this video and find out how deep the rabbit hole goes.
But you did this for what?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Why though?
So you want to watch live action adaptation without being reminded how trash it is? Well, here's the secret. Don't watch or read the source material. Sounds simple enough, but it's harder to pull off than you think. Because to fans, these live action adaptations are seen as a cash grab to squeeze out a few extra shekels from the fans of these franchises that have been loyal to them for up to decades in most cases. But maybe that's the wrong idea, because what if these are meant as a jumping on point for new fans who just don't have 1,000+ hours to get to the part of One Piece where it finally gets good? I'm not here to rag on Monkey D. Luffy though. I'm actually here to talk about Death Note.
Yeah, get into it.
You see, Death Note is the perfect example of a good movie on its own, but a terrible representation of the franchise in whole, if you ask any of its fans. Now, the rest of this video is going to contain spoilers, but the movie came out in 2017 and the show came out in 2006, so you be all right. The Netflix adaptation of Death Note does a very good job of telling a simplified plot. You know, that thing that movies are supposed to do. But of course, there are things that had to be changed because the target audience for this film was Americans, and other things that just had to be cut out for time. Now, I'm not going to nitpick it and say, oh, you got to be all this, because some of these things, you know, they actually make the story of Death Note a little bit better.
You lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
Because I cannot begin to describe to you how hype I was when I saw L finally catch the W against this little psychopath Light in that movie, just to go and watch the anime and watch him get third party by a Shikigami that doesn't even like Light. And then they bring in these two other super detectives just to fill in L's shoes.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
It's an ass pull that takes away from Light's cunning, and it also gets rid of the best character in the show, who, FYI,
much later.
Anyway, I should probably talk about what makes Netflix's Death Note good.
Wait a damn minute.
Glaring standouts are the production value. As you can see, based on the makeup, CGI, and casting, that the producers paid for a good version of Death Note. And based on the things that they changed, it's clear that they didn't like everything that was in the source material. The elephant in the room is William Dafoe as Ryuk, which, as a casting director, is probably one of the best decisions that you can ever make, because not only, look at that performance, but at the same time, Ryuk looks amazing in this movie, which is understandable because, as you know, Ryuk is the fucking mascot of the show, and if you're gonna put him on screen, you better lock the fuck in. And like, once again, look at this guy, right? If you opened a book one day and you looked at the edge of your bed and that was there, eating apples, I guarantee you would drop a brick. The other big standout in casting is Lakeith Stanfield as L. And let me stop you right there. I do not care that you know that L is not black in the anime or manga. I don't give a fuck. If you don't know who Lakeith Stanfield is, I fucking doubt it, because he is Gen Z's Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, the guy's in everything, and he puts on a really good performance in pretty much everything he's in, which I gotta say right now, everybody in this movie puts on a good performance. I can't really say that there's anybody that puts on a bad performance, so I'm not going to. And that's a good thing, because as somebody who does a little bit of acting myself, I know how fucking hard it is to make something that looks completely goofy into something that looks good. And say it with me, making live action anime is always goofy. But why? Why is making live action anime goofy? Why is it a bad idea? Well, that's because the target audience is hard to pinpoint, right? Because who is this for? Who's gonna sit down and watch a live action anime? Is it gonna be the fans of this show or manga, or is it gonna be someone who has no fucking idea that any other version of this stuff exists? I bring that up because it doesn't really matter how good a live action remake is going to be. Because so-called fans are gonna go out, they're gonna see a trailer of it and say, I hate this. So they go, wait for it to be released, review bomb it. Or worse, they actually hate watch it and never actually give it a chance to see anything good in it.
Oh, I would do that anyway. I would do that anyway because that's how I am.
Now, as for the non-fans, why would they watch it? Because in Death Note's case, it's pretty clear why you would watch it. The cast alone, right? Who wouldn't want to see William Dafoe tell some teenager to unalive as many people as possible? But Netflix's Death Note is an example of a adaptation that has a big budget. Most of them have stars that you never heard of. So like, what is a dude doing on a Saturday night? Like, he's just out here trying to Netflix and chill, and he sees that Zom 100's on Netflix, and he's like, let me click on that. This is something I don't have to pay attention to. Which, by the way, did you know that Zom 100 has a live action adaptation? And it's crazy to me that that may be the only way that you'll be able to see Zom 100 in any form other than the manga. Crazy.
Call the police. We need to call the police.
Or you could be like me, a guy who is interested in watching Death Note's anime, but you went to Netflix and you saw that they had both versions of it. And instead of watching the show over the course of a couple weeks, you decided to watch the movie over the course of a couple hours, which, as you can tell from the rest of this video, is a decision that I don't regret. You may not think this, but I actually like Death Note. Now, I'm not going to say it's the perfect anime or anything, because there are some problems that present themselves in the anime and manga that I just don't like. But the Netflix version fixed those problems for me.
That doesn't make no sense. My man.
The biggest problem for me is that Light, a teenager who thinks that unaliving a bunch of criminals who are already in prison is the justice that this world needs. See, that dumbass can lead the world's greatest detectives on a wild goose chase for years. Never forget that it took maybe a week for L to actually pinpoint Kira's location because the prisoner started writing Kira on the wall. See, based on that one interaction, it showed me that Light would never actually outsmart L. And that's why I like Netflix's ending better, because L cracked the entire case in maybe a month.
Eventually.
Now, the reason why I believe most live action movies are trash is because that I believe that a lot of the studios that produce these movies are more concerned about making money. I've always said that good movies are made by people who care, and I'm willing to bet that some of your favorite movies were made by people who are more concerned about making the art versus making the money. Making any project takes time, money, and respect. And when it comes to live action anime, we clearly see that there's a lack of respect. It comes in the form of things that get changed. And I understand that not everything can be translated from page or animation to film, and that changes are going to have to be made, but those changes are not just the little character changes like hairstyle, skin. It's usually things that are vital to the story. Like, do I even need to bring up live action Attack on Titan? Yu Yu Hakusho, one of my favorite anime, have recently gotten an anime adaptation in live action. It's going to be released on Netflix December 14th, and I have seen the trailers, and based on the trailers, I'm saying that it's probably going to be good because it looks like it's been made by people who care about the franchise of Yu Yu Hakusho. I can't guarantee it's going to be good, and I don't know how it's going to be perceived by the public. However, that's just my opinion on it. Do I wish Yu Yu Hakusho got the Hunter x Hunter treatment and just got updated visuals in anime form? Of course. But I do know that very soon a lot of eyes are going to be on this franchise, and a lot of them are going to be seeing this live action. Most of them are going to be people who either want the show to fail or succeed based on their biases, And there's going to be a couple of new eyes that never seen anything Yu Yu Hakusho because they just didn't like that it was in cartoon form. That's a whole nother video. We'll get to that another day. I like anime. I don't love it. I can definitely live without it. However, these stories mean a lot to a lot of people. At their worst, they're mindless entertainment, and at their best, they can be some of the best stories that give you life lessons and values and all kinds of things. And those stories deserve to be heard by as many people as possible. In a perfect world, live action would be used as a catalyst to spread the word of anime. I'm not a fan of live action anime. But when given the right amount of care, these projects can flourish. And hell, maybe one day we might even see a renaissance of live action anime, just like how the 2010s had a renaissance of comic book movies.
Did I lie? Did I lie? Did I fucking lie?
You never know. So tune in next time when I tell you why Hercule is the best Dragon Ball Z character. God damn, that is a high ask.